Hello, holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. You have been hearing many times about amoeba. We use amoeba for understanding different concepts in biology. So, holozoic mode of nutrition. Another key term here is nutrition. We have been discussing about nutrition. So, nutrition is a process in which we intake food and we utilize the ingredients in the food for carrying out life processes. So similarly, in case of amoeba, nutrition is process of taking in, ingesting food and breaking the food down into simpler pieces so that there is possibility of deriving different nutrients and using those nutrients for deriving energy and utilizing energy or the nutrients for carrying out different life processes. So the topic holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba is a subtopic discussed under topic nutrition in chapter number 5, life processes. Now, before discussing about nutrition in amoeba, let's try to look for the overview of different modes of nutrition in different living organisms. We have autotrophic mode of nutrition where living organisms synthesize their own food. Some organisms are dependent on other organisms, especially producers or autotrophs, for food. Autotrophic mode of nutrition may be photosynthetic autotrophic mode of nutrition where there is use of sunlight energy for deriving energy. Sunlight energy is used for synthesizing their own food. This is occurring in case of photosynthetic bacteria, plants, euglena, etc. And in some bacteria, there is another mode of autotrophic mode of nutrition that is known as chemosynthetic bacteria. Chemo here refers to minerals, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur. These are used for deriving energy and for carrying out life processes. Now, heterotrophic mode of nutrition may be of different forms. Heterotrophic here are followed by saprophytes, especially the fungi. We also have parasitic mode of nutrition, which is seen in parasites. We also observe holozoic modes of nutrition in humans and amoeba. Parasitic mode of nutrition can be ectoparasitic. Ecto refers to outside, so which is observed in ectoparasites. Ectoparasites usually live on the surface or on the body of living organism. In case of leech and cuscuta, cuscuta is a green yellowish plant which creeps on or which covers up, which tries to climb up the higher plants, covering which usually grows dependent on another higher host plant. Endoparasite. Endoparasitic mode of nutrition is observed in endoparasites, and endo refers to inside. Plasmodium, tapeworm, ascaris, all these usually lives inside our body or inside the living organism's body. So they are endoparasite. They are dependent on host living organism and they lives inside the living organism's body. Now, amoeba follows holozoic mode of nutrition. Holo here refers to entire. Zoic here refers to animal. So amoeba, human, we are animals. So in us, we ingest entire food inside, or we take in entire food. So that's why we are holozoic, we are following holozoic mode of nutrition. Similarly, amoeba does so. So before understanding the entire picture about the nutrition in amoeba, let's try to understand the structure, basic structure of amoeba. Amoeba usually have irregular shaped unicellular cell. Whenever we discuss about cell, we discuss about three main parts of the cell. Cell membrane, which covers the entire, which protect the entire unicellular cell of amoeba. Inside cell membrane we have cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like substance in which there is floating of different cell organelles. We have nucleus, the main controlling center of the cell. Amoeba do have, being a eukaryotic cell, it is having nucleus, within which we have chromatin, nucleolus, nucleoplasm. Nucleus is porous, and it is very unique in amoeba that it is being irregular cell. It is having pseudopodium, or plural form of pseudopodium is pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are extension of cell membrane, or these are finger-like projections or protrusions which are coming out by flow of cytoplasm. Whenever amoeba is nearby any food particles, then it tries to ingest, tries to engulf, tries to take in the food particle by pushing, by flow of cytoplasm, and there is formation of pseudopodia. Whenever food is ingested, engulfed inside the cell of amoeba, there is formation of food vacuole. Whenever amoeba is having waste or undigested food, then those undigested food will be excreted out with the help of a special vacuole called contractile vacuole. So in case of amoeba, we have food vacuole, which is having the main components of the food, or the food which is engulfed in, and contractile vacuole, which is for excretion of waste or undigested food. And finally, you can also see the digested food here. Now let's try to understand the big picture of amoeba and its nutrition. This is a microscopic image showing nutrition in amoeba. You can see amoeba being predator. It preys on smaller organism, extension of cytoplasm, and formation of food vacuole. Now the ingested prey or the smaller organism will be digested, will be used for deriving energy, for carrying out life in amoeba. Now let's try to understand the main concept that we have to discuss in this video: holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba, which is usually occurring through a process called as phagocytosis. Phago refers to solid, cyto refers to cell, cis. Whenever you come across any term ending with sis as suffix, then it means it is a process. Phagocytosis means putting in or taking in or engulfing in solid food particles inside the cell. Now, whenever amoeba is nearby any food particle, amoeba tries to sense the food particle. Amoeba moves around the food particles, and it will extend its pseudopodium. After extending of pseudopodium, it will engulf, it will try to take in the food particle, and that process of bringing in the food particle by extension of cytoplasm is called as phagocytosis. So ingestion occurs once amoeba sends the food particle by extension of cytoplasm and formation of pseudopodium. After ingestion, you can see the pseudopodia formed. After ingestion, there is formation of food vacuole. You can clearly see the food particle here. This is my own representation. This is prepared with the help of PPT, so not so proper, still then it's beautiful to observe it, right? This is food particle formed after ingestion of the food particle with the help of pseudopodia, food vacuole. Now, after formation of food vacuole, then digestion occurs. Usually digestion is occurring with the help of enzymes which are available inside the cell of amoeba. You can see the food vacuole which is having yellowish colored structures. These are a representation of enzymes. So breaking down of food particles inside the food vacuole occurs, and there is formation of simpler food substances which are able to absorb inside the cellular content of the amoeba. Different cell organelles will be able to use it, especially the mitochondria and all. Now, after digestion, there is absorption. Absorption is circulation, distribution of the nutrients which are derived from food throughout the cellular content of the amoeba. After absorption, then it will be utilized for carrying out life, for deriving energy, and for different living processes in amoeba, even for growth and repair. So assimilation occurs after absorption. Assimilation is utilization of the ingredients or nutrients in the food for carrying out life processes. We have been understanding the nutrition in amoeba in simpler way. So now lastly, once the ingredients are used, there are some food components which are not digested, or there may be some waste or extra materials inside the excess materials inside the cell of amoeba. So these excess materials, waste, undigested food will be taken out or will be removed out, or these will be egested out. So the final step of nutrition in amoeba is egestion, removal of undigested food in case of nutrition, right? So if you observe the illustration, you are able to see some terms which are represented in yellowish colored letters. So first is ingestion ending with ION, digestion ending with ION, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. All these 5 terms written in yellowish colored, yellow colored letters are ending with suffix ION. That means these are processes, and these are different life processes. So it's technique for you to understand term. Any term ending with ION is process, or any term ending with SIS, phagocytosis, is also process. Some processes are ending with ING. So phagocytosis is intake of solid food particles or solid food. Okay, so with this we have understood the holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. Now let's summarize all these steps in letter. First, amoeba being unicellular organism follows holozoic mode of nutrition. Second, feeds by process of phagocytosis. Amoeba engulfs the food particles using pseudopodia. This is for you to write down so that you will be able to remember the points properly. And there is occurrence of formation of food vacuole by engulfing the food particles. Food vacuole then passes through the cytoplasm, and then the digestion, absorption, and assimilation occurs. And finally, undigested food will be excreted out, removed out with the help of contractile vacuole. Now, with the nutrition in amoeba, let's try to understand the main steps of holozoic mode of nutrition in holozoic animals. First, ingestion occurs. Ingestion is intake of food into the cell or living body. Our body, we also follow holozoic mode of nutrition. So our body, if we take in food, that is called as ingestion. Second, digestion. Digestion is a process of breaking down of complex food substances or insoluble biomacromolecules into simple absorbable forms, or simple dissolvable or simpler soluble forms is called digestion. After digestion, absorption occurs. Absorption is a process of distribution of nutrients in case of unicellular organism, and in case of our body, it's movement of nutrients which are digested in the digestive system through the small intestine into the bloodstream. Assimilation occurs after absorption. Assimilation here refers to using of the nutrients for deriving energy, growth and repair, and for carrying out every life processes. Lastly, egestion occurs. Egestion is process of removal of undigested food. So these 5 steps are occurring in holozoic mode of nutrition. Same in case of nutrition in human and amoeba. Now try to answer these questions. Simple questions. You have to describe holozoic mode of nutrition, and second, discuss the steps of holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. Sorry, you have to write down this in case of amoeba, or you can write it in case of amoeba or any. Third, you have to describe phagocytosis in case of amoeba with the help of well-labeled diagram. Fourth, you have to name the distinct vacuoles which are found in amoeba enclosing food particle inside amoeba. Okay. Lastly, you have to name the distinct vacuole, found in amoeba formed for excretion in amoeba. Okay, with this we'll end this video. Thank you. Have a good day.